Hi, I'm Jim Cerone. Coming up on the Perfect Host Show, Step 2 of the Perfect Host Top 10, some brand new pick hits for you in the music room, and a moron marketing tip. That's next. I'm Jim Cerone. This is the Perfect Host Show on DJNTV. Today we're going to dive into a little bit more about the Perfect Host concept. We talked about how you should think of yourself as a lot more than just the DJ at your events. Think of yourself as the host of the whole shebang. When you do that, you put a lot more effort into what you're doing. You give a lot more to each client because now you feel the success or failure of the party on your shoulders because you're the host. So how can you make sure that it's the best party possible and your clients get the best experience? By thinking of yourself as the host. We talked about step 1 and show preparation, how important that is to know everything you can about the event before it starts. Now let's talk about step 2, which I call game day. It starts with advanced communication. When I was in college, I got a fancy degree in communication, and it's really key to having a great event. But it's also key to how you communicate with your clients and how well you work together with other vendors. So advanced communication is the first part of game day. You have to have already talked to the caterer, the venue manager, the photographer, the videographer, sometimes even the florist. There's a lot of reasons for that, but most of all, it's to take all that last-minute guesswork off the table before that day arrives. What time does the caterer have dinner being served? What time does the food have to come out of the kitchen hot, or else the chef is going to come after you with a big meat cleaver? You should know that because that lets you work with your client to be sure that everything is scheduled around dinner time. So you've got to talk to the caterer in advance. You've got to talk to the venue manager like I did for my corporate event tomorrow. I was going to go to the loading dock like I usually do. But the venue manager told me that that's going to be really busy tomorrow, and she asked me to come in another door. If I hadn't known that, that could easily eat up 30, 45, an hour of my setup time. And that's stuff you need to know. Do you have a traffic app on your phone? Do you check that app before you leave for your events? That's important. It's all part of game day, making sure you're really ready for this to happen. Then there's something that I call use a checklist, which means have a physical checklist. Have you forgotten anything for one of your events? Have you gotten to a venue and realized that you didn't bring your uplights? Or you forgot the one cable that makes the projector work? Or if you don't have the right adapter for the keyboardist that's playing for the ceremony, like I did Saturday, then you're stuck, unless you've talked to everybody in advance. You've already discussed that with the keyboard player, so you know they have 1/4-inch outs on the back of their Yamaha, and you've got to make sure you can transfer that so that it gets into your mixing board. All these things are so important. Advanced communication. One of the best things you can do, which I didn't used to do, is get places early. And I mean really early. I used to be that guy who would wander in and discover, oh, the guests are already here. And then you're frantically setting up equipment, dragging it through the guests, trying to tape down cords. You're in your setup outfit and you've got to go change. Now everybody's seen you. So I made a big change and I started to go extra early. If you have a flat tire, if there's a traffic tie-up that you didn't know about, if there's a construction zone, if you're not using the loading dock, you're coming in the other entrance. If you have extra time, now you've got a buffer and it's not as big a deal. Also, who sees you when you arrive? The people who are going to refer you. If you have time to set up and then just sort of hang around, guess who you get to talk to? The banquet manager. The florist who might end up sending you referrals. I've got great relationships with people that you wouldn't think about just because I'm there extra early, I'm set up, and then I have time to chat with my fellow vendors and create great relationships with them. So being early is really key. Using that checklist is really important before you back out of the driveway, before you close the doors on your trailer. Just go through one more time and see if you've got everything you need. I am a little OCD, and so I load my vehicle the same way every time. So I know if something's missing, it's pretty obvious. Then the last part of what I call game day is getting the team together. Not necessarily the other vendors, but the servers, the bus people, the security guard, all of the people you don't think about, but that are vital to running an event. They are by far the unsung heroes of the catering and event world. If you can take the time to get to know them, remember their names, introduce yourself to them, then you create a bond with them. And believe it or not, 5, 10, 15, 20 years down the road, you'll still be working with a lot of those same people. And it's great to see friendly faces, get a smile when you walk in, and a, hey Jim, when was the last time you were here? It's great to see you. They'll do the same for you if you take the time to care about them and make them feel important. Because without them, the event don't run. So make sure you take the time to meet the team. And then, if you're stuck, if you need somebody to help you open the doors for the wedding introductions, you can say their names and say, can I borrow you guys for just 2 seconds, and could you hold these doors open when I get to the mic? Now you've got your team together and you've treated them as a team. There's no I in team, right? I said the cliche, I'm sorry. That's part 2 of the Perfect Host Top 10. Game day. Make sure you communicate in advance. Make sure you use that checklist. Make sure that you get the team together. This is a house of cards. All 10 parts of the Perfect Host Top 10 go together. So you've only got the first 2 so far. Show prep, game day. Number 3, coming up in the next episode. But right now, we're headed into the music room for pick hits. That's next.
DJ Event Planner will change the way you manage and run your business. Streamline all of your procedures and software into one easy-to-manage system. DJ Event Planner, the ultimate online planning tool.
Now we're in the music room. It's part of every Perfect Host episode on DJNTV. I am so passionate about music. I love getting new music. Where did that come from? I used to be a radio station music director. And every day, the mail person would come and deliver this huge stack of packages on my desk. I was the first one to get to open the new 45s, the new records, the new CD singles. And it was my job to listen to them and then talk with the record company representatives about what their priorities were, and they wanted to be sure that I had listened to everything. And I did. I made it my job to listen to every song that came across my desk. And I still love it today. I can't wait to every week get my music subscription and the latest downloads. Now, there's been a lot of songs that have been released in 2018 that have not taken off. And next episode, we're going to talk about those. But today, I want to talk about a few pick hits for you. There's a brand new Chainsmokers song. Yes, another one. The Side Effects, I guess, just didn't take off, so they released This Feeling, which is a vocal with Kelsey Ballerini. Sounds very similar to The Middle, which was #1 for 7 or 8 weeks this year. I'm not sure that This Feeling, the one with Kelsey Ballerini and Chainsmokers, has what it takes, but it's something that you should be paying attention to. Then Shawn Mendes and Zedd have teamed up on a song, and it sounds like Mendes is trying to out-Puth Charlie Puth. Very similar vocal to Charlie, and it's something you should be aware of. It's kind of lightweight, it's more adult contemporary, so I'm not sure that it's going to fill our dance floors. And then there's the song that's been hanging around for a while, Jackie Chan. This week it broke into the top 15 on the national Billboard, Media Base, whatever chart you look at. So I think finally it could be a song that will work on our dance floor because enough people have heard it. That's been the problem this year. There haven't been a lot of mass appeal songs that everyone has heard. The Middle was unique because it was used in the Target TV campaign. And so it got a lot of radio play, a lot of TV commercial exposure, and that's, I think, what made it so familiar to people, and that's what made it a hit. But there haven't been a lot of great songs for our dance floors. So I keep looking. Next week I'll have more pick hits for you. Next, your moron marketing tip. That's the Perfect Host Show on DJNTV. I'm Jim Cerone, the Perfect Host Show on DJNTV. Now time for your moron marketing tip. I look for customer service and customer experience and marketing lessons everywhere. Yesterday I was shopping and I was looking for apples. Have you ever really looked at apples in the supermarket or grocery store? There are the medium-priced apples, and then there are Honeycrisp. Why are Honeycrisp so much more expensive? Well, I think that they taste better, they don't bruise easily, and they're usually pretty big. So Honeycrisp are more in demand than your average apple. Are you just an average apple? Or are you more? Have you created your own demand because you have unique features of your personality or what you offer than nobody else in the market does? Create your own demand. Be a better apple. That's your moron marketing tip, and that's the end of this Perfect Host episode. If you have comments, suggestions, questions, would you please put that below? And if you have something you want covered, I will cover it in upcoming episodes. That's it. I'm Jim Cerone on DJNTV.